Sawyer Awards, alternative, healthy, alternative diet things. Go and see her. She'll be over by the food thing and she'll be able to sort you out if you've booked something. If you haven't booked something, good luck with that. And then after the break, we'll be doing some more awards, and then which will be great, and we'll have some lovely speeches. And then we'll be having another break. And while the breaks are happening, you can take photos in the photo booth, whatever that is. So that'll be grand. So go and do some wonderful photo boothing thing with each other. You can mix and mingle. Looks like the bar's open, and have a good time. Make sure you remember that hashtag. And then we will be watching the National Awards, which will be live streamed here later on. And of course, we've got some nominees for that as well. So it'd be great to do stick around, enjoy that. And we are going to make the screen about another 3 inches bigger, so you'll be able to see that as well. Does that sound good? Everyone excited? Everyone ready for a wonderful afternoon? So we want lots and lots of cheering. I want just a little practice cheer now, because I want to pretend I'm winning an award, and I want to feel how inflated my ego is when you clap. So let's give it a go, shall we? Big award and goes to, hey! Okay, I'm feeling a little bit loved. I'm feeling loved like I was loved by my father, but I want to feel loved like I was loved by my mother. So let's try that one more time, shall we? Okay, and the award goes to... Excellent. I think that's going to work. That's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to look over to the wonderful technical guys here. Already live? We're live. So let's just have a big welcome to everyone watching on the internet. Where's the camera? Is that the camera there? Peace, love, and understanding. Let's everyone give them a wave. There's a camera there. God, now they're not feeling good, are they? That's pathetic. Let's give a wave to everyone joining us. Hi. Excellent. Good. So without further ado, we are going to, I think, hand over to our esteemed leader. That is, well, I just remember your name now. Are you joking? Our esteemed leader, Mr. Matt Prosser.
Thank you very much indeed. The most reverend or very irreverent Thomas Fowler. He is available for, of course, christenings, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, should you wish him to come and do those for you. And I hope you like the fact we've coordinated. We've been rocking the waistcoat look. There we go. You know, like twins separated at birth. I know, I'm Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito. Get over there. Right. Good afternoon, everybody, and for those of you at home watching on the live stream, and welcome in person to those of you in the room to the Social Worker of the Year Awards, the Dorset version. I don't know about you, but I've been very excited about getting out of the house and actually seeing some real people, rather than chatting to people and people go, who are you? And I have to say, and they go, oh, you've been this big for the last 18 months. So it is really, really good. This is a really special occasion, an occasion for us to celebrate good practice and recognise the achievements of our service and our colleagues. Because for me, social workers, that's you, are the part of the heartbeat of the DNA of Dorset Council, supporting our corporate vision to ensure that Dorset is a great place to live, work and visit through your unstinting support for those that you work with. And it's been my privilege over the last couple of years to actually see some of that work in practice, the challenging circumstances that you have to work in, and the incredible support that you provide to our communities. And all I can say to that is simply thank you. And today, because Thomas has told me, is a chance for me to see the corporate behaviours of the new council brought to life. As I've said many times before, these were behaviours that were developed by the organisation for the organisation. So this is about recognition, how we can recognise good practice and recognise each of you. So, of course, I want to wish everyone who's been nominated the very best of luck. But with all of these things, there can only be one winner. So perhaps we can just take a minute now and practice that applause again and celebrate everything that all of you do in this room. So a big applause for everybody who's here and on the live stream right now. Thank you. And far be it from me to correct Thomas, but actually Peter Wharf's award is actually for the person who sticks to their script today. And there will be, I'll be putting £20 cash in for that one. And if Peter can do it, I'll double it. So without further ado, can I introduce to you two of our fantastic leaders in the organisation. I've seen firsthand how much effort, determination, commitment, energy, passion, and a little bit of razzle-dazzle as well, if I may say so. And long hours that these two have put into their work, because outstanding leadership isn't easy. So, over to you, Teresa and Viviane.
this one on? Or am I loud enough anyway? Yeah, it's on. Hey, fantastic. Oh my God, this is so exciting. It is just so exciting to be out, isn't it? You know, and I'm looking around the room for Liz Curtis-Jones and I can't see her. So, Teresa Levy, Executive Director, for those who I haven't met before. And Liz has challenged us all with doing a bit of Dress Up Wednesday for children in need. So I don't always dress like this on a Wednesday. This is normally Thursday attire. And Wednesday's the sort of wet leather look or something, I don't know. It's really not. Strike that from your mind immediately. Oh God, it's there forever now, isn't it? It's so lovely to be here with you all. It really, truly is. Because, where's my Amanda? I'm going to have Amanda as my plumb line today to keep me from not falling into those joyful tears. Because it is a really joyful opportunity to be able to be with you all, to celebrate the incredible work that you do. I will next year, and I know you're all going to find this impossible to believe, but I will next year enter my 40th year in children's services. I started clearly as a child. I sort of did, actually. I sort of did, as many of us did. And, you know, it started off in residential care, actually, and it's fascinating, isn't it? You know, 40 years on, here we are for many of us in children's services and adult services having that really important debate about that really crucial care that we provide to some of our most vulnerable young people and adults. And I learnt a lot then. I've learnt a lot every year ever since. But in the last 2 years, I've learnt so much from you. I've learnt so much about resilience, about strength, about wholeheartedness, about every single thing, every single part of you that you bring to the work. The best days for me of being executive director are the Quopham days, or the performance board days, or the practice weeks. And they're the best days because that's when I get to see and hear and be with you in your work. And in the last 18 months, 2 years, I've seen and heard you talk of the deep, deep relationships you're building with your children and families to make a difference in their lives. Going so much more than an extra mile. Stepping up, leaning in, travelling the country in lockdowns and having to take lay-by breaks because the services weren't open. Taking all of those chances that you take every day with each other, trusting your families, working and leaning in together, supporting your partners in police and health and school to really make that difference. And doing it in a pandemic. I had pondered not to mention it at all, but because actually in many ways what you do every day anyway. But to do that in people's front gardens, in people's backyards, in cars, in streets, as you have all done, to make sure that you keep that contact has been truly remarkable. So this is a celebration of every single one of you. And I know that the qualities that we see in children, we certainly see in adults as well. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do. And this afternoon, later on this afternoon, I'm talking on a family rights group policy national session, which is a great blessing. And I'm ending my speech with them saying, and in Dorset, and we will have a great day on Friday, folks, when we publish our Ofsted, but in Dorset, we don't get it right every day, in every family, every time, because we're human. And we're humane, but we'll keep on keeping on with hope and kindness. Thank you.
So I obviously didn't get the memo about dressing up and looking glamorous, so forgive me. You know, I've come in my usual school uniform, and but it's great, absolutely great to share the stage with Teresa and to be here today to celebrate the fantastic work that you've all done. I think what is really important today is that we're celebrating a really unique event. We're celebrating the great, fantastic celebrations of social work, you know, and the value that social work brings. You know, we rarely get an opportunity to say how proud we are to be social workers, how proud we are to do what we do, and that unique contribution that we make, which is so different than everybody else. You know, we bring something that's very different. We bring something into those relationships we have with children, with adults, with our colleagues, that other people don't bring. You know, that's the value. That is the contribution that we are most proud of. And as Teresa has said, one of the amazing things that's been happening over the last 2 years is to see, regardless of the where you've been, whether or not you've been face-to-face, whether you've been doing it from your bedroom, your kitchen, with your kids, or whatever's happened, you've done an amazing job. You know, and you've done things that you also thought weren't possible. You know, when I look around the work that's happened and the quality of the work that's happened over the last, 2 years since I've been here is just phenomenal. You know, you should be so proud of that. And I have to say that being the director of such a service is, you know, phenomenal. It's just been absolutely the proudest moment that I have been doing this job for some time, as has Teresa. But, you know, the last 2 years is just incredible because I think we have come through so much, not just the pandemic, but we started from a place that it was very different in Dorset, wasn't it? Post-LGR, we were all, you know, what's going to happen? What's it going to be like? What's life really going to be like in social work? What's the council going to be like? Do we really want to have this change? And now look what's happened. You know, it is phenomenal, and I am so proud. And, you know, standing here, just seeing you all and being part of this ceremony is just amazing. So I think a round of applause for you all and a big thank you to say just how fabulous you are. So, brilliant. And I now have the proud honour to be introducing the Chief Social Worker of England to us, who has very kindly, she's not available today, she is on her holidays, so she has sent us a little message, which I am sure you will delight in seeing. So, thank you very much. Lynn Romeo.
Chief Social Worker for Adults in the Department of Health and Social Care. I was delighted when Viviane Broadhurst invited me to contribute or be a part of your first ever Dorset Children and Adults Social Work Awards. It's so fantastic to be celebrating social work, and it's so important that we recognise the value and importance and the impact that social work can have on the people with whom we work. So it's great to see a chance to celebrate achievements and successes. Those of you who've heard me speak before will know how much I think social work is at the heart of communities, working with people, both children, families, adults, and the communities within which they live, to support and enable people to have the best possible lives. The values of social work, our core ethics and principles, and our relationship-based working, and the way we can engage with, build trust, and enable people to both draw on their own strengths and resources, but also to step in and meet those gaps where they are and help people to really have the best possible lives. The pandemic has highlighted more than ever, I think, the importance of social work, of recognising what matters to people, working alongside of them, trying to connect and be the bridge between all those different elements that will go to support people to have good lives. It's been a time when you've had to really reflect on change, loss, grief, both with the people you work with, but also for yourselves. And the importance, I guess, of reflective practice, reflective supervision, being reflective practitioners, knowing and understanding the impact that the work has on us, and how to build our own resilience and to sustain and improve our own well-being has become much more prevalent during these times. Across the country, I've heard about the really great work that's been going on around supporting social workers' well-being, making sure that, given the way we're having to work now, much higher use and much more kind of amazing use, actually, of technology, digital communication, but also the kind of challenges of often working a bit more in an isolated situation, working from home, working through screens. It's not quite the same as face-to-face work, so we do need to work out how we balance off the advantages with the disadvantages and make sure people get that connection and space and time to reflect and time to kind of be replenished by the kind of informal contact we have with each other and the way in which we informally think things through and talk things over so that we can really work well with families and look after ourselves as well. So the practice landscape has changed, and it's required all of us to develop new and innovative ways of working with people, both those whom we serve but also with our partners. The whole digital landscape is we've had to leap forward at an amazing rate, but I've been so impressed by the way people have done so, and the way we can engage with CPD and online learning and key into lots of different conferences or educational CPD opportunities can only be for the good. But also the way in which we work digitally and in a more integrated way with our health partners, but also other partners in the community and voluntary sector and across the council. So real opportunities here. I think certainly in the department there's much better recognition of social care and social work and its importance and its inextricable link with the NHS, particularly during the COVID pressures and when you were so integral to hospital discharge, ensuring people in the community were getting access both to health and care. And I know and I acknowledge how difficult that is and has been. I have to take my hats off to you all. You've really stepped up and been committed and determined and passionate to carry on keeping the show on the road and leading through keeping things going. It's incredible what I've heard and seen that social workers have done during this time and how flexible and adaptable people have been. So I certainly hope from my perspective that we're able to really think about what better support we can put in place to support all of you, and also to recognise that the practice element, the relationship-based work, the listening, the empathy, the co-producing of care and support plans that matter to people and the outcomes that they want to achieve for themselves, and the way in which you are constantly doing the best you can to make the most of what limited resources there are is just amazing. So thank you for all that you've done, but also want to acknowledge it's been a tough gig, a really tough gig, and it's not over yet, and we've got the winter to get through and lots of kind of other challenges on their way. So I won't say much more than that. I just wanted to say I'm really, really proud and moved actually by the amazing work that you have all done. These awards are a fantastic way to acknowledge that. Lots more needs to be done from my end and from your organisations who employ you to ensure we've really got your well-being and your support and appropriate supervision arrangements and appropriate growth and development arrangements in place for you, particularly in becoming well equipped to use all the different digital communication methods we have now, but also trying to strip back a lot of the unnecessary or things that don't really bring value to people's journeys. Strip away what you really shouldn't need to be doing so that you really can concentrate on using your fantastic knowledge, your skills, and your ability to really engage with and support people. So thank you very much. I hope the celebration goes really well. I look forward to hearing about it. And I really look forward to seeing you in person in the new year. Very best wishes from me. Thank you.
So that was Chief Social Worker Lynn Romeo. She had plenty to say to us. I'm surprised she has time, actually, because she, as Chief Social Worker, you must have an epic caseload, I imagine. Right, anyway, well, going from one Chief Social Worker, we're now going to be introducing two Principal Social Workers to come and share the stage. Now, I'm not quite sure what it means really being a Principal Social Worker. It sounds a bit like the kind of head teacher of social workers. So I guess if you ever get called into their office, you know you're in for detention and you have to go home early. So anyway, let's give a big round of applause to Liz Wood and Steve Crocker.
Hi everyone. It's nothing like a head teacher. I can say that. See me later. Hi, we'll do some introductions. Hi, I'm Steve Crocker. I'm Principal Social Worker for Adult Services.
I'm Liz Wood. I'm Principal Social Worker in Children's Services.
I do apologise about the sound quality on that message, and hopefully you did get to hear a lot of what Lynn was saying. And what we will do following this event is we will make sure that her message gets circulated. But for those of you that did hear it, it was a really good reflection on some of the sort of challenges and successes that social work has demonstrated over the past sort of year and a half. And I think nowhere have we seen some of that sort of challenge and success against adversity more vividly than in our colleagues who have undertaken professional qualification throughout this sort of pandemic. And today we wanted to sort of give a big hands up and celebration to them all. And as Lynn was saying, really, they've managed to keep the show on the road despite all the challenges that they faced in terms of professional qualification. So what we'd like to do is take this opportunity to read out the names of those people that have qualified during this pandemic. And at the end, can we give them a big round of applause? Because I think they really do deserve it for all their achievements, all their hard work, and all their tenacity in achieving what they have achieved throughout this very challenging and demanding times. So for Adult Services, hurrah, we'd like to sort of recognise Lauren Williams, Christine Norman, Catherine Rundle, Russell Windsor, and Sarah Cadman.
And in Children's Services, we'd like to recognise and congratulate Charlotte Blowers, Stephanie Clark, Jade Randall, Stephen Mace, Rosalind Paget, Jane Richards, and Julianne Notley.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we'll recognise those students, but there can only be one Student Social Worker of the Year. And to present that award, I'd like a big round of applause from the Open University, Jenny Pedar.
Okay, so there are two awards, one for adults and one for children's. And I'd just like to sort of confirm the experience the students have had of doing placements, of doing everything they have, and having numerous assignments from university at the same time that do not necessarily match their caseload. So the caseload probably bubbles at the same time as they've got an assignment due in. So there's a lot of bubbling around for the students. So starting with Student Social Worker of the Year for Children's. So the shortlisted nominees are Ros Paget, Julianne Notley and Andrew Bartlett. And okay, so the comments are for Andrew. Andrew has a calm, friendly approach. He is passionate and empowering. Families recognise the positive impact that he has on their lives. Andrew is a team player who is always happy to help. He provides support, resources and learning opportunities to colleagues and families. Okay, for Julianne, Julianne provides positive motivation to her colleagues during difficult times. She works to a high standard and makes a real difference to children and young people through the time she spends with them and her tireless work to ensure they are kept safe. And finally, Rosalind. Ros performs well under pressure and uses her initiative when faced with challenge. Ros is valued by her peers and colleagues across the partnership agencies. Ros can be trusted entirely and is able to calm even the most challenging and tense situations. The families Ros works with have benefited from her strengths-based approach. Ros is committed to research-informed practice. She is diligent and committed to making a difference for families. And this is the winner. So the winner, if I can get it out the right way, is Ros Paget.
I just want to thank all the APs for all their support and help through all of this.
And the same process for adult services. So the shortlisted nominees for adults are Nikki Taylor and Russell Windsor. So the comments for Nikki are, Nikki has worked within adult service social care for nearly 20 years, commencing her social work training in 2018 on the traditional degree programme and then moving on to the social work apprenticeship in 2019. Nikki did the extra work required and she has continued to smile throughout the experience of being one of the programme's initial cohort. Nikki was recognised for her tenacity during the pandemic, having to adapt to the challenges that this presented with her student experience. Rather than dwell on these, she used them as an opportunity to increase her skills and experiences and share these with others by contributing to a video about her experience. The person who nominated Nikki said, in summary, "Suffice to say, if I ever needed a social worker, she'd be my first choice." Okay, and for Russell has just qualified as a social worker and the journey has been a little challenging. The pandemic meant changes had to be made to both Russell's placements. He took this in his stride and he went on to gain some great feedback from those he was supporting. Despite the hard work that the postgraduate diploma in social work involved and despite the placement changes, Russell remained cheerful, optimistic and keen to become a social worker. The person nominating concluded, "Russell, the team that you decide to work in, once qualified, will be very lucky to have you." Okay, and the winner is Nikki Taylor.
So Nikki can't be here today, but accepting the award on her behalf is Kerry Goldstone.
I didn't have anything prepared, but I really hope, Nikki, that you're watching this. And what I want to say is how immensely proud we are of you. You really deserve this. And I think that final comment about Nikki would be the social worker of choice for any of us just about says it all. Well done, Nikki. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Fantastic. That was great, wasn't it? Okay, so we are going to move quickly on, and we're going to invite our two principal social workers, Liz Wood and Steve Crocker, to come back and tell us about the next bit. So come on, guys. We're looking forward to hearing from you. And while they're coming up, how's my table in the middle doing in there? You guys still rocking it? Still my favourites? Excellent. Good.
Hi, everyone. So it's an opportunity to celebrate our newly qualified social workers, and particularly the ones who've completed their assessed and supported year in practice. I think for all of us who are qualified social workers, we can really acknowledge how challenging your first year in practice is. There's so much to learn, and also you have to sort of understand the complexity of decision making and also the enormity of the decisions that you make for children and families, and I think that comes with a huge responsibility. So this year, all of our newly qualified social workers have actually had additional challenges. So we've heard others talk about the pandemic, and I want to echo that. That's basically been a real tough one for ASYEs across the country, and also for our ASYEs in Dorset. So what we're going to do is we're going to read out the names of all of our ASYEs who have completed the programme in Dorset. So that will be adults and children's. And then once we've done that, we'd like you to join and give them a huge round of applause in recognition of the contribution that they've made in Dorset. Okay, so for children's services, we've got Christine Godwin, Jen Mear, Nikita George, Rebecca Welch, Samantha Dunning, Catherine Rundle, Emma Dewhurst, Jenny Osmond, Lucy Penagova, Natasha Emberley, Rebecca Hughes, Rose Parker, and Vicky Woods.
And for adult services, we have Songul Bakir, Aaron Hughes, Ellie Platt, Fiona Jones, Faye McDermott, Charlie Kendrick, Hazel Blake, Abby Jolly, and Christine Norman.
Pop your hand up if you're here and you're an AYSE. Give us a wave. All three of you. Okay, excellent. No, give us a big wave. Yeah, you can clap them as well. Well, a special thing for you guys. We've got some wonderful goodie bags, party bags at the back. I don't know if there's cake in them. There might have been balloons, but we probably look like we blew them all up. But there are actually some great resource bags, and they're provided in partnership with the teaching partnership. So do make sure that you do grab one of those bags during the break, especially for AYSEs as well. No, Karen Elliott, you can't steal one. Okay, so, but that's, we are now going to celebrate our newly qualified social work of the year, and to present this award, let's have a warm welcome to Sarah Jane Smedmore.
Hello. Oh my goodness, it's amazing to see so many people, and I can see over the top of this, which is just fabulous. Very pleased. It's just such a great privilege to be able to give this award out. And I was thinking on the way down here, so I've been qualified 23 years this year, which feels like a long time, but also feels like a blink of an eye. But I was just thinking about, and there'll be some people in the room who qualified in the 90s as well. It was very easy, believe me, compared to what you have to do now. It was easy in the fact that we did the same things. You know, we worked with children and adults and families, and you know, we make relationships and we do all those things, but you have to fill out forms. I'm like, oh my goodness, if I had to fill out a form, I'd be a nurse. There was no way that I'd be able to do a portfolio. So well done to all of you who have to fill out all those forms, do those portfolios, submit them. Really think about that very first year and making it count, and making the relationships you make count as well, because it's not just being a newly qualified social worker in a team. I'm quite sure in 23 years' time, you'll still be in touch with the people that you're working alongside now, because actually they're the people who make a real difference to your career. So well done, everybody. Now, I'm going to just give you some information about the people who have been nominated. I'm going to start with adults, because adults come first here. I'm going to hope that I can see what I'm reading. So, shortlisted are Emma Robertson, Abby Jolly, and Christine Norman. So I'm just going to tell you a bit about Emma. So Emma is recognised for her hard work and support that she's offered her colleagues and people who receive services. The nomination recognised that she's incredibly knowledgeable and goes out of her way for her clients. Well done, Emma. And then Abby. So Abby is recognised for her level of skill and professionalism, as well as her exceptional work, ethics, and always putting herself forward to help. Abby has been at the heart of the pandemic response within the Hospital One team, and her manager commented that she epitomises our corporate values and is a credit to Dorset Council. Well done, Abby. And then finally for adults, Christine Norman. So Christine is recognised for her drive and dedication to promoting social work profession despite being newly qualified herself. She's worked on national initiatives over the past year, helping to develop a thriving student social work network. She has assisted in providing webinars to colleagues both locally, nationally and internationally, sharing her experiences, skills and knowledge with others. She is also recognised for the services she has offered people of North Dorset, having worked as an assessment and supported coordinator since 2012 until her qualification as a social worker. Her work has also led to her being shortlisted for the National Social Work Awards later today. Well done, Christine. Okay, big drum roll, please. Just so that I can get into the envelope. Hang on. Oh, it's not easy, Thomas. I thought it would be easier than that. And the winner is Christine Norman. Well done. Well done, Christine. Do you want to say a few words?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who nominated me and for all the support over the years of my studying and the last year particularly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then for our children's newly qualified social worker of the year. So shortlisted nominees are Rebecca Hughes, Catherine Rundle and Rose Parker. So Rose has been nominated because she is kind and empathetic. She empowers people and due to this approach manages to build great relationships with families she works with who feel truly listened to. Rose's exceptional dedication to her families and her advocacy skills make her an exceptional social worker. Well done, Rose. And Rebecca. So Rebecca demonstrates a strong commitment to children and families she supports. She's gone above and beyond to ensure children are protected from harm. She models behaviours that enable children to feel valued and supported. She works tirelessly to ensure children achieve their potential. Well done, Rebecca. And then finally for children's, Catherine Rundle. So Catherine is a founder member of Social Work Connect alongside Siobhan McLean. Catherine ensures her colleagues can access opportunities for professional development, which she shares across the organisation. She demonstrates professional leadership alongside her commitment to children and families, and she is an inspirational in demonstrating what is achievable. Well done, Catherine.
Okay. Drum roll, please. The winner is... No, quicker. Catherine Rundle. Well done, Catherine.
I don't think Catherine is here, but I'm accepting on, I don't know who you are, but you could, Ian. This guy is going to accept it anyway.
Thank you. Just to say, I'm Cat's manager, Ian Dalgleish. We work in the West locality. She's a bit busy, genuinely. Yesterday she did a house removal in the morning and an interim care order in the afternoon, so today is about sorting out contact for a mum, so she's not able to be here, unfortunately. But I know she's the one in my team who would most have wanted to be here if she could, so sorry about that. But congratulations, Cat.
Okay, people at the back, you've seen that going to Ian's hands. Just make sure it gets to where it needs to get to. Thank you for that. Okay, well done, everybody. I have the privilege to now introduce Yvette Stanley, who again is not here in person, but is going to speak to us. I know Claire and I just went, oh, phew, but we've done Ofsted. That's all right. It's done. It's fine. They've gone. But Yvette is the Director of Social Care for Ofsted, and she has a long career, 30 years career in children's services, and knows our Teresa very well, or Teresa knows her very well, having worked together previously in Merton. But Teresa, you have done more years than Yvette, so you knew that. That's a good thing. So Yvette's going to talk to us, and I think is going to take us up to our break. Thomas, is that right? Marvellous. I'm going to leave you with Yvette. Thank you very much, everybody.
It's my huge pleasure and privilege to be joining you today to mark and celebrate both your own and the Social Worker of the Year Awards. Today is rightly a special day for all social workers, a day when we congratulate and celebrate our colleagues' very best work. Being strengths-based means acknowledging our own strengths and building on them. It is no surprise for me then to see Dorset leading the way in the celebrations. It's been a tough, hard year for children, for families and for vulnerable adults. And for us, personally and professionally, probably the hardest one of our careers. Whilst we may be filled with hope and optimism, we generally are, we must acknowledge that the children and adults we work with are still facing significant challenges, both from COVID and from the economic and social impact it's had on our daily lives. In this context, it's still right we pause today to acknowledge the great and sometimes heroic efforts of our colleagues to make a positive difference during the most difficult of times. As Ofsted's National Director for Social Care, I have the responsibility to speak out when things are not good enough for children. You would not expect me to do otherwise. However, I have, the privilege to also be an ambassador for great social work practice. And whenever I can shine a light on the good work I see, I absolutely do. So today, even more than usual, I salute all of you standing shoulder to shoulder with the children and families and adults we serve. I welcome your ambitions to do your best work, be your best selves, and to deliver the very best practice. We do that together by placing families at the heart of decision-making, building on their strengths, being challenging and respectful, playing our unique role in stitching together the local networks and partnerships which support children and families when and how they need it, putting values and discipline at the heart of our practice and giving conspicuous care to both, and always having the highest ambitions for the children in our care and our care leavers. I get feedback from teams after all inspection, and it was a pleasure to be debriefed on your recent visit and to hear about your journey and ambitions for the future. The improvement is a hard one, even in steady times, but to raise the bar in the context of the last year has been brilliant. So well done to all of you and to Teresa and the whole leadership team and members for setting the tone, vision and ambition for children and for social work. Congratulations to today's nominees and award winners. And to each and every one of you, a huge thank you from me. Thank you.
Excellent. And the astute of you would have noticed that actually on her whiteboard behind, she did actually have Gavin Williamson's mobile number. So I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my evening. Okay, well, it's time for a break, and we're going to have a break till about 1:45, and this is where you're going to get an opportunity to discover and refondle that love with a cucumber sandwich. There better be one after all that. So it is lunchtime, or tea, kind of afternoon tea time, or whatever you have between those two things. That's what we're going to be doing now. Make sure you get onto that hashtag. Make sure you go into the booth, which rather looks like it might transport you somewhere else. But do go and join the photo booth. Go and congratulate people that have won so far, and have a good time. We're going to go table by table. You can work it out for yourself, but we're going to start with the middle table there because you're my favourites for now. But this is an ongoing competition, so others can claim for it. The first thing is they haven't got laptops open on their tables, so that you're never going to win by having that happening. So start with you, and we'll go around clockwise, but you'll work it out. Keep social distance, have fun, and we'll see you back in about 40 minutes. So there is actually food on both sides, so two tables can go at any time. So this table over here, over there, go and grab some food. There is food either side of the venue. Excellent. Don't all rush at once.
I need you to see something.
Okay, everybody. Playtime's over. It's time for the serious awards. So do make your way back to your seats, and we're going to be commencing and celebrating and having a genuinely good time. So how was lunch? Did anyone enjoy a cucumber sandwich? Wave at me if you had a cucumber sandwich. Excellent. Love it. And was it a good cucumber sandwich? Was that cucumber crisp? Excellent. Good. Freshly made. And it looks like lots of people are enjoying the photo booths. That's good to see. Massive shout out to Unison, who have in part sponsored this event, and they've enabled the photo booth to happen. So big shout out to Unison. Thank you guys. Unison, you've enabled all our colleagues to highly embarrass themselves by dressing up silly, taking photos of themselves and generally mucking around, which is kind of what they do most of the time anyway. Excellent. Right, let's get back to our seats, but you don't have to be well behaved. We are here to have fun. We are here to remember to hashtag Old Pro Soya Milk 2021 and let everyone know what a good time we're having. Grand. Okay. So there's a lot of people missing from that table. Would they not have a good time? What was that? Claire, you've got your mouth full. Okay, anyway, carry on eating. You're most welcome to do that, but just don't talk to me while you are. Great, so today we're celebrating social work and we're celebrating all those wonderful people and all you wonderful people as individuals. But also we're thinking about team. And unfortunately, we're going to have to break one of the corporate behaviours today, which is all about being one team. Because how can you have a winning team if we're all one team? So just for the next 10 minutes, forget about hashtag one team. And think just about the one team that are going to win. So we're going to talk about team now, and to present both the awards on the best team of the year as well as the best team leader of the year, would you please give a massive round of applause to Councillor Peter Wolf.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The first thing I want to do is to say thank you, because everybody in this room and everybody in adults and children's makes a major, genuine difference to the lives and the livelihoods of adults and children throughout Dorset. The fact is that what you do, we couldn't be without it, and if you didn't do it, a lot of people's lives would be poorer for the lack of the work and the contribution you make to their lives. So I thank you very much, and I thank you particularly because you're often unthanked in what you do. You're not always recognised for the value and the good work you do. Sometimes you're even criticised, and sometimes you're even vilified. So on behalf of the British public who don't always appreciate what you do, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you in terms of the residents of Dorset. And I want to say thank you from the members, because you are the unseen jewel in the crown in many ways, because I go out and I talk to residents and they talk to me about bogs and bins, and they don't talk to me about adult social care unless it's somebody concerned about their mother or father. So it's a very individual exercise, whereas everybody complains when they don't get recycling bins emptied or when the kitchen waste doesn't get dealt with. And I have to really control myself, because I feel like saying, your recycling bin missing 1 week is just trivial in the scheme of things in terms of the help and what we provide to adults and children. So again, I really, really do want to thank you, because you don't get thanked enough. People don't realise the brilliant work you do and you often not only don't get thanks, but you get criticism. So thank you very much. Would you please give yourself a big clap? Now I'm going to test Matt Prosser's muscles because I speak at full council, and officers know that whenever I speak, and it's far too often, I ask for a briefing note and then I don't follow it, which they get quite concerned about because it might land them into some sort of legal difficulty, or I might make a promise that we can't keep. So Matt is now worried because I've told him I'm going to tell a joke. I just think it's good to start these things with a joke. Now, I told a joke the last time I talked at a big group like this. I think it was yourself 2 or 3 years ago. And there was a reference to Denmark, so I told a joke about Lurpak. There was deathly silence, because, well, 3 people got the joke, but that was 2 days later. So I'm going to tell a joke, and Matt's muscles are beginning to flex right now. I'm going to tell a joke, which I think you will relate to. So there are 2 psychiatrists who've been to university together, and they know each other really well. And they're walking in town, and they're walking towards each other, and they see each other, and they recognize each other. And let's call them Psychiatrist A and Psychiatrist B. And Psychiatrist A waves at Psychiatrist B, and as he gets closer, he says, "Hello, you're fine, but how am I?" Yes. It's a it's a creeper. It'll creep up on you. Okay. Two psychic. No, forget it. So I'm going to present 4 awards. I'm going to present the Team of the Year from Children's, the Team Leader of the Year from Children's, the Team of the Year from Adults, and the Team Leader of the Year from Adults. Andrew Parry, the Cabinet Member for Children's, can't make it. He's had a bereavement, a close family bereavement of somebody younger than him, so he's on compassionate leave. He asked me to send his very deep gratitude and thanks to you all, and he says thank you as well. So you've got 2 sets of thank yous. So you're stuck with me for a little while. There's Thomas. Right, so I'm going to start with the Team of the Year, and I'm going to go through the shortlisted nominated teams, and this is for children's. So, and I must get you to rename your teams slightly more excitingly, Teresa. Right. There was a lot of teams nominated, but it came down to 3 in the end. So I'm going to read out the citations for each of the 3 teams. Chesil Team 1. Chesil Team 1 is described as a supportive, comforting and amazing team. The best team ever. A close team, a team who work tirelessly to promote the foundations of good social work practice, which place the needs of children and families at the centre of all decision making. In turn, this leads to positive outcomes for children and their families. Well done, Chesil Team 1. The next nomination is for East Team 2. East Team 2, the cohesion within the East 2 team. Why did you change the name from East Team 2 to East 2? Forget it. East 2 team supports staff well-being. The supportive environment ensures that staff can draw on the knowledge and skills of their more experienced colleagues to provide good quality services to the children and families they work with. They have worked with perseverance and tenacity through the pandemic, ensuring that children and families have been supported during a time that has been difficult for all. And how. Well done to East Team 2. And finally, Chesil Team 2. Chesil Team 2 have a very can-do attitude. They willingly support each other and are there for each other. Team members go the extra mile to support one another. Team members are kind to each other and to the children and families they support within the locality. This kindness permeates all the way through when in the community, in the office and in teams. Give it up for Chesil Team 2. And before I open the envelope, so wait for the old, right, can I say thank you for the work you've done during the pandemic? The fact is, Matt and I have been communicated by screen, and I've communicated with the directors and various managers by screen. It has been unbelievably relentless, and I know it's been that way for you. We're coming out of it, but we're not out of it yet. We're very grateful for what you do, and we understand the stresses and strains it's placed on you and will continue to place on you. So yet again, I'm saying thank you. I'm going to open the envelope, so now you Chesil team 1! Right. Chesil team, come on, the whole lot of you, come on. Now, if you were a politician, I'd say you can't speak because there's too many of you. Would somebody like to say something on behalf of the whole team, please?
Yes, I'll knock us out,
What can I say? Chesil 1 are an amazing team. They're fantastic. They're supported. But I think the kindness in this team comes down from the whole of Dorset. And that's just amazing. Thank you.
Somebody collect the team. Give them a clap. And congregate in a little group and make lots of noise whilst you get your picture taken. Right. Seriously, thank you guys. You are just such a pleasure to be with. So I'm now going to talk about the Team Leader of the Year for Children's. And the shortlisted nominees for the category of Team Leader of the Year in Children's Services are Karen Blaker. Yes! Come on. Janet Cole. Your hands are going to get sore by the time you've finished. Serve you right. Right, Tony College. And Sarah Wilton. Is it Sarah? Right, I'm going to read out the citations. And what makes me particularly pleased with this is much of the information in these citations, it's summarised from a variety of sources, but much of the information for the team leader has been written by team members. So I think you cannot get better than that. So, Karen Blaker. Karen is recognised as someone who makes herself available and encourages her team to work collectively when times are tough. She is attributed as being the reason her team thrives and why team members can do to do their jobs to the best of their abilities. She makes her team feel comfortable, supported, and to have confidence in the decisions that they make. Well done, Karen. The next person is Tony College. Tony is driven by a desire to achieve the best outcomes for every child. She supports her team and encourages them to achieve. She inspires and motivates her team. She is recognised for her integrity and honesty. She listens to what everyone has to say and values everybody's contributions. She supports us to thrive in our job, leading by example. The next person is Janet Cole. Jan is unfaltering in her commitment to her colleagues and the children and her family she supports. She goes over and above to ensure that people have the support they require when they need it. Jan demonstrates a selfless attitude and always puts others before herself. She is a true team leader who has enabled her colleagues to demonstrate resilience in testing times. And finally, Sarah Wilton. Sarah is calm and her approach brings clarity to the most difficult of decisions. She is a fantastic team leader Her supervision sessions have been insightful and critically reflective, and she's dedicated to empathetic and holistic practice. She enables me to be the best social worker I can, encouraging me to progress where needed, said one of her people. She ensures I'm doing the best work with families, said another. Sarah is an amazing team manager who always seeks to expand our knowledge and give us confidence as a team to do our best. She works tirelessly to ensure our service users have the best outcomes. So that's the 4. Drum roll, please. Sarah Welter.
It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? It's because I've got an amazing team, the best team, clearly. Thank you.
So I now move on to adults, and for the other teams, we listed the whole, a number of people who had been nominated who didn't quite make it. For adults, we were just overwhelmed with the number of teams who provided excellent service and were worthy of being nominated. And we felt it would be inequitable to either list everybody, because I'd be here all day, or just pick a few people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the team that's won it. I'd ask that team to stay sat down for the moment, and then I'm going to read out the citation. So the winner is, and I'm going to tell you now, the Mental Capacity Act and Service User Financial Affairs Board. So this catchily titled team, the Mental Capacity Act and Service User Financial Affairs team, it filled the whole card. But the team are a team of 20 made up of managers, advanced practitioners, financial officers, and administration assistants. The team is recognised for the work that they do both internally and externally to promote the human rights of the people we work with. The team is recognised for its contribution to enhancing Dorset's excellent reputation in the Court of Protection and the strong links that it has developed with the local courts. It is also recognised for the support, guidance and practical assistance it offers both internally and externally to promote good legal literacy. The team also run an annual Mental Capacity Act conference attended by a range of professionals and provider organisations. This year was their 12th conference with over 400 people attending the day-long virtual event. The team provides training to Dorset Council staff and the independent and voluntary sector. Since the start of the pandemic, they have offered monthly 1-hour-long webinars on the Mental Capacity Act and other associated topics to help support the workforce in this challenging time. The team's ethos is that there is no such thing as a stupid question, and they will always try and be kind and supportive and helpful. They are very worthy winners of the Team of the Year. Come on up.
Okay, I'm going to be a hot mess if I say anything too much. Big thanks to Paul Greening. We know he's watching. We miss you, Paul. Wish you were here. We love what we do. We really love it. We believe in the Mental Capacity Act as a piece of legislation that empowers people, and we're lucky to come to work every day.
Cheese. Thank you. Come on through. Well done. I'm now going to move on to the Team Leader of the Year Adults Award. The shortlisted nominees for the category of Team Leader of the Year in Adult Services are Maggie Sleewer, and I've been told that is the way you pronounce it, so if I've got that pronunciation wrong, I'm blaming somebody else. Maggie Sleewer and Catherine Armstrong, Laura Lowe and Simon Slay. So, first is a joint, Maggie Sleewer and Catherine Armstrong were jointly recognised for the support and guidance that they have offered their hospital team during the most difficult and challenging times during the COVID-19 response. How we delivered services had to change at pace, and both Maggie and Catherine took these in their stride, making sure that their staff were supported throughout this period. Well done, you guys. The next nominee is Laura Lowe. Laura was described as, quote, the most supportive, understanding manager that I have ever had, and that she is always there for you, making sure that you are always supported. The support that she offered the team throughout the pandemic was also recognised, helping our staff cope with the additional challenges that this has created. Let's hear it for Laura. The final nominee is Simon Slay. Simon was recognised for the support and advice that he offers his staff and how accessible he is to the staff when they need his assistance and guidance. One new member of the staff commented, "He has made me feel so welcome to the team, listened to me, and he has supported me throughout." Let's hear it for Simon. Let's have a drum roll, please. Maggie and Catherine.
Whilst it's really lovely to be nominated and recognised with this award, I think we have to say it's our teams that do the hard work, and we really value them, and we have amazing teams, and thank you so much.
I just want to ratify what Maggie's just said. You know, they just make our job so much easier, and they just make every day that we turn up to work worthwhile. Thanks, team. Thank you.
Can I again thank you? You're absolutely brilliant. Thank you, and I'm going to step down and somebody else is going to come up. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Councillor Wharf, for your fine words there and the helpful reminder not to repeat jokes we overheard in the waiting room. So coming up next, we are going to be presenting a fantastic award for Mental Health Social Worker of the Year. And to introduce that, who's very keen, look at this, very keen to get on the platform. Thank you. It's my turn. You get yours in a minute, okay, when I say thank you. But anyway, let's give a big round of applause for Steve Aveers, known as Stevie.
And thank you for butchering the name. Following on from Councillor Wharf and his attempt at some wonderful jokes, I think we'll all agree they were very good and well received. I'm going to talk about something a little bit more serious, so the Mental Health Social Worker of the Year. I recognise that each and every one of you in the room and each and every one of you that are on the live feed will be supporting people in a time of crisis in their life, a time when actually it might not be going so well for them. But there is a particular subset of our workforce, our mental health social workers, that really do intervene with people's lives when they are in crisis, where it is actually possibly the worst times in their lives. And I think this recognition of the award gives them that justification of the work that they do day in, day out, that very hard task of going in, supporting people, and sometimes that intervention that really does make a difference in people's lives, which I recognise that all of you do as well. The resilience, the fortitude and the tenacity of those mental health social workers really does blow me away. I deal with quite a few of these cases on a daily basis, and I have to talk with them on some quite difficult circumstances that they have to resolve. And I am immensely proud as the corporate director for this service, leading the mental health social work team, that actually we do very good work each and every day in making sure that those lives are protected and the work of that profession. As with our adults teams, we had a number of nominations for this. So again, we've followed the same suit. We have a single individual, which I will bring up shortly, which will say who that is. That is Joe Pryor. Joe has been unable to be with us today, so we have someone else that is going to come up. Joe's line manager in total, so that will be a lady called Andrew who will come to receive the award, but I would like to read out the citation for her. Joe works as an advanced approved mental health professional in the Dorset AMP service and has held this role for approximately 5 years. Joe is an experienced practice educator, and her passion for her own practice and for the development of others shines through in her everyday role. Jo was recognised for her commitment to delivering high-quality services to individuals at the point of mental health crisis, reducing discrimination and improving outcomes for individuals. Her continual work on the Dorset Council's approved mental health professional approval and reapproval pathway has been extensive, tenacious and focused on the quality of AMP practice and the rigour required to maintain approval in this highly skilled and business-critical role. Jo is a highly respected, skilled and business-critical colleague and is the central point for consultation from her peers, including other professionals using the Mental Health Act. Jo demonstrates in her practice strong social work values and a strong ethos of promoting human rights and dignity for those individuals marginalised by their illness. Jo has always demonstrated a can-do attitude in her everyday work, and for these reasons and many others, she rightly wins the Mental Health Social Worker of the Year award.
Hi everyone, my name's Andrea. I don't think I've got much to add to that because it was just so immense. And I'm very, very lucky to have her in the teams and really humbled by her leadership. And thank you, Jo. Thanks for all the work that you're doing for Dorset residents. And you're such a trusted, credible leader, and for many more years to come. Many thanks.
Fantastic. Okay, well, we've got quite a few awards still to go. Is everyone hanging in there? Everyone having fun? Great. Anyone got indigestion? No, okay. I had one too many cakes, if I'm being perfectly honest. Okay, so we are now going to be introducing the Practice Educator of the Year Awards, and we're delighted to welcome from Bournemouth University the appropriately titled Dr. Louise Oliver.
Hi, it's a real privilege to be here today with Tilia Lenz, who's over there at the back from Bournemouth University, to present the Practice Educator of the Year Award. So I'm going to start off with the shortlisted nominees for the category of Practice Educator of the Year for Children's, and they are Rachel Newman and Sarah Bevins. Rachel Newman. She is recognised as being a significant support to the Children with Disabilities team, providing support, advice and guidance, while also questioning practice and advocating for change. Rachel goes above and beyond to support colleagues in her team, regardless of their role. She always finds time to help her team members and provides invaluable advice and guidance to those around her, professionals or families, while remaining child-centred and advocating those who are marginalised. Sarah Bevins. Sarah's nominee said that she has shown a determination and willingness to support me wholeheartedly. The pandemic has made placement processes difficult. Sarah is new to the supervision and practice educator role, yet showed a great knowledge of social work practice. She allowed me to use my own initiative and yet supported me when I needed it. We have jointly worked some very complex and emotionally challenging cases. Sarah deserves to know how well she did. So, here's the envelope. Rachel Newman.
Most people know I don't like to say too much normally, but now I can't say anything. But thank you. I've always wanted to be a practice educator. I think when you look at it from any other thing, teaching other people to be able to do the job that we do on a daily basis is an absolute privilege. And I'm really grateful for the nomination. Thank you.
I'm now going to talk about the category for Practice Educator of the Year within adults. And they are Roxy Kisala, Laura Lowe, and Katrina Hodges. Roxy has supported many students, both internally and from our local universities. She's one of our practice educators who offered to do this at the height of the pandemic. Supporting a student virtually was not easy, but Roxy rose to the challenge and saw the student through their placement and passed this element of their course. Roxy is also part of an internal moderation panel for the ASYE portfolios belonging to newly qualified social workers. Her willingness to assist in this provides valuable frontline experience to the process. Currently, Roxy is undertaking a programme, Post-Qualifying Standards of Social Care Supervisors, in order to build on her skills in this area. Her willingness to continue to learn is what makes her a great practice educator. Laura Lowe. Laura's passion lies within professional development of others, and she's been a practice educator for the last 8 years, successfully supporting student social workers during their training through to qualification. As well as being a team manager in our peripatetic team and a practice educator for students in Dorset Council placements, Laura has also successfully coached and mentored newly qualified social workers through their ASYE programme and watched them flourish into proficient social workers. In April this year, the local ASYE moderation panel led by Skills for Care highlighted one of Laura's newly qualified social workers' portfolio as an exemplar, of course a celebration of the NQSW's work, but also testament to Laura's commitment and engagement in the NQSW's development. Laura's work has also been recognised nationally, being shortlisted for the National Social Work Practice Educator of the Year. Katrina. Katrina is a great practice educator who embraces all aspects of the role and successfully balances this with the demands of being an area practice manager. Katrina has supported student social workers, newly qualified social workers, and mentored members of her team who want to apply for the social work apprenticeship. Katrina is part of an internal moderation panel for the ASYE portfolios, and her input is valuable as she can bring her frontline experience to the discussion. Katrina also volunteered to observe a trainee practice educator and provide feedback to enable them to progress within their course. Katrina has a calm and optimistic presence that her students appreciate, as well as the skills, knowledge and reflection she brings into her supervision. The person nominating Katrina wrote, "Thank you for all that you have do to support the next generation of social workers." So, Laura Lowe.
Oh, unfortunately, Laura can't be with us today, but accepting the award on her behalf is Kerry Goldstone.
Laura, I really hope you're managing to watch this today because you just need to be so proud of yourself. Not only are you an amazing social worker, team manager, practice educator, you just have so much enthusiasm and drive that you share with all of your students. And I just can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you.
That's lovely. Thank you, Kerry. And, you know, it must be hard. I mean, how many more awards you've got to collect on behalf of other people before, to be honest, you start to cry inside. So we need to make sure, can we just make sure that, you know, Kerry gets an award next year for herself? Is that all right? Okay, so we're moving on to our next award, and I'm going to let the presenter of this award introduce the award itself, but the next presenter of the award not only is our most expensive presenter, and he's also the only one who submitted a rider for the event, so we thought we'd get maximum value for money out of him. He's going to start the event, end the event, and now he's going to introduce this award. So, Matt Prosser, everybody.
Thank you very much indeed, Thomas. Right, so I get to present the award for the Duct Tape Award. Now, this is obviously a really, really important award. It is for the Duct Tape Award. It's awarded to someone who can fix anything. And for those of you who are Taskmaster fans like I am, you'll know what you can do with duct tape. Let's just leave it there and we'll move on. We don't want any more only jokes this afternoon. So the shortlisted nominees for the category of Duct Tape Award are Emma Evans, and Gudrun Nicol. So the citations are, for Emma Evans, Emma is a social worker who works as a training advisor within the Adult Services Learning and Development team. Previously, Emma had worked as an operational social worker within Learning Disability Services. Emma was nominated for the Duct Tape Awards as she managed to solve a myriad of problems thrown at her over the past 18 months just with a piece of duct tape. Due to the COVID-19 response. She's done this with good humour and continued passion to get things right for the workforce and the people we serve. She's recognised for the work that she has personally led in supporting our students, trainees and apprentices in their professional development and resolving numerous problems and challenges created by the pandemic. Her nomination recognised a can-do, fix-it approach that helped resolve problems at pace. Well done, Emma. And I'll now move the citation for Gudrun into the light so I can read it. So Gudrun's was recognised for going the extra mile in her casework. This was highlighted in a particular practice example where Gudrun had helped support a young adult with a physical disability to fulfil an ambition of going to university. The person in question wanted to move hundreds of miles away to study a particular subject that they had wanted to study for years. Despite seemingly insurmountable obstacles, Gudrun managed to work effectively with the person to achieve their ambition. This involved addressing issues around accommodation, adaptations, transport, and working with another local authority to make sure that this was a success. The nominator states that she didn't think there was any way to bring all the elements together, but Gudrun did it. Well done. And drum roll. And the winner is Emma Evans. Well done, Emma.
Thank you very much. I didn't think being likened to duct tape was a compliment, but I can see that it is, so thank you.
Great, well done, well done. So our next award, we've got a presenter who's going to come with and help me present the award. So please welcome on stage one of our care leavers and someone who knows, I think, probably much more about social workers than anyone else in the room put together. So please welcome Chloe Wells. Fantastic. Thank you, Chloe. So we are going to be presenting the Sparkle Award. And what is the Sparkle Award? Well, everyone needs a bit of sparkle in their lives and in their teams. And this reward is recognising those team members who just bring that extra bit of shine, love, joy and sparkle into our lives. So we're excited to be announcing the two people that are shortlisted. And the two people that are shortlisted are Genevieve Buckley and Cheeto Tandy. Let me tell you about Genevieve. Genevieve has been a key member of my team, both as a strong team player and emotional supporter of other workers on the team. She's always there for people. Genevieve generates a lot of fun and positivity within the team room, a gregarious character who lifts the mood both with fun, occasional swearing, and the odd incident of gallows humour. She has maintained this despite challenging times. Genevieve has, for several years now, demonstrated that her skills in establishing positive relationships are also a cornerstone in her work with families and making important changes for children. Very good. And Cheeto Dandy. Cheeto is an absolute joy and ray of sunshine to have in the Chesil and Dorset as a whole. She keeps us smiling with hilarious stories from Zimbabwe, from chasing chickens to the tips of how to store petrol. She has an amazing way to make us laugh with her observations on British ways of life. She keeps smiling despite how very hard it has been to leave her home country during a pandemic and settle in England and to adjust to a new way of life, while being separated from a child due to the pandemic. We're so lucky to have her, and she brightens our day and is a joy to the families and children she works with. Her care shines out daily. So they both
I can't open it. Sorry. And the winner is Genevieve. Thanks. Super uncomfortable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Chloe, for that. Okay, well, we're getting on to the big ticket items now. These are the ones you've all been waiting for. We are moving into the actual Social Workers of the Year Awards. And to announce the Children's Social Worker of the Year, I'd like to welcome on stage Teresa Levy.
You know, I always thought Thomas had a great career ahead of him. Oh, we're going to have to do some repair work, colleagues. He's hosting us beautifully, isn't he? Really fabulous. The other person who we're missing strongly is Councillor Parry, and I spoke to him this morning, and he sends you all his love. I couldn't deliver a dad joke as well as he can, so I won't try, but you know that it would only be something terribly, terribly sad that would keep him from being here with you today, because he values you all so much. So, oh goodness me, it's just such a privilege to be able to announce the nominations for the category of Social Worker of the Year for Children's. It could be everybody and anybody, and is three particular fantastic individuals. The nominations are Linda Hioko, David Maudsley, and Daniel Graham. Linda's background in advocacy and working as an independent visitor really shines through in the relationships she builds with young people. She is supportive of colleagues and works hard to achieve the best outcomes for young people. Well done, Linda. David is collaborative, collegiate, supportive, and challenging. Someone who will do everything in his power to ensure positive outcomes for our young people. He is always cheerful and supportive of colleagues. He goes above and beyond. Well done, David. Daniel is seen as someone who brings a wealth of experience into his social work role. He works tirelessly to ensure the best outcomes for children and families in Dorset. He builds positive relationships with colleagues and is a source of support within his team. Well done, Daniel. And I can vouch for all 3 of those nominations and more. Oh, and the winner is...
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you to everybody in here, because as social workers in children's services, we all do a fantastic job. I can't thank my team enough, and especially Henry, my manager. She has lifted me back into this, because 2 years ago I didn't want to be a social worker anymore, so thank you. I'm also quite lucky in that I get to go home every night and bleat on to another social worker, my partner Sarah, who's not here today. So I want to thank her as well, but thank you everyone. You know.
And to announce, we'll move straight on and announce the Adult Social Worker of the Year, Viviane Broadhurst.
And I'm very privileged and honoured to be able to announce this award today. I mean, it's amazing. As others have said, it could be any of you in the room. So I think all of you should be very proud of being party to this award. But we have 3 nominees, and the first nominee is Jill Small. The second nominee that we have is Isabel de Sega. And our third nominee is Shilda Jose. Jill has been recognised for her dedication and passion for social work, her promotion of the rights and well-being of individuals. Jill makes people feel empowered and respected and expects everybody to be the best person that they can be, and really empowers them. Jill acts as a role model for others in the team and has been described as a very dedicated and committed social worker, and what one should really look for in a social worker. Izzy has been recognised for her passion and support of people to gain the best outcomes for them. She's also been recognised for the support she gives her team and other colleagues and everybody she works with, particularly supporting newer members of the team to find their feet, which has been really hard going in this past few years. Izzy has been described as what a true social worker really looks like, and has made a difference to so many people. So, big round of... And our final nominee is Shilda. Shilda has been recognised for her commitment and passion for social work and achieving positive outcomes for people, whoever they are that she works with. She is committed to helping and supporting her team and to developing and the learning of others. Shilda was described as having a good heart, and it was evident in all of her social work practice. So, let's see if I can open this envelope. Here we go. And the winner is Jill Small.
Yes. And unfortunately, Jill can't be with us today, but accepting an award on her behalf is Juliet Ingram.
Jill, I hope you're watching. Like a lot of other social workers, I know you're juggling a huge number of things today with caring roles, so you're not able to be with us. I think the thing that really struck me about your nomination, Jill, was that passion for getting the best out of people. And in adult social care, that's one of our real ambitions. So thank you for doing that. But I do want to echo that theme, that I am immensely proud of every single one of the social workers that sits within the service I manage, because all of them show that dedication, that passion and that skill. But Jill, today it's your day. Thank you.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? What a great place to work, with all these amazing people and amazing stories. It just is a very special thing. So, we're kind of almost there, but who wants one more award? Oh, okay, obviously not then. Come on, let's who really feels like we could do one more award today? Well, then your wish is my command. So let's welcome back on the stage for the Special Recognition Award, and we're going to really butcher your name this time. It's the big man, Stevie.
So, thank you, everyone. Over the last 3 hours, knocking on for that, I think we have heard some of the most special, heartwarming, lifting, empowering stories about the practice that each and every one of you are doing day in, day out. But certainly a number of you that have been nominated by your colleagues, your peers, your friends, your managers, as a recognition of the work that you do. Our final awards is one that we wanted to recognise a special individual across adults and children's that has really come forward and touched a number of lives over the course of his career. And he didn't fit well into any one of the categories. So we have a category that recognises that special contribution as a practitioner that Paul Greening, who I know is not able to be here today but is online, and the contribution that he has made as both an individual practitioner and as the manager of the MCA team and SUFA team. So I have got a small speech that I would like to read out and just to recognise the work that Paul's done. Paul has been an ambassador for the rights of people for many, many years in his personal and his professional life. His verve, his passion, his particular passion for politics is always about what is right and what is fair, that people should be respected and treated equally. He would have made a superb politician or lawyer and may have missed his calling, but luckily for us, he chose social work. Paul originally planned to be a journalist, but somehow found his way into social work and has worked with homeless people and in the adult mental health in Nottingham before moving down to Dorset, initially to take up the lead as an approved social work role, way before the days of our AMPs. During this time, he worked alongside Bournemouth University, where he discovered a talent, and it really was a passion and a talent, for training. It was a natural progression for him to set up the Mental Capacity Act team in 2008. And Paul, being the man that he is, who does not like change, has stayed there ever since. The team initially consisted of Paul, just Paul, and then one other colleague, but slowly grew over the years as the demands on the MCA team and deprivation of liberty safeguardings grew. Paul's strong sense of valuing people, both personally and professionally, has shaped that team. And it is no accident that when team members, particularly the ones that are here today, were not sure what they would do, you will absolutely and every time hear the mantra, what would Paul Greening do? Paul loves the Mental Capacity Act, one of very few. And as a piece of legislation, it really did give a voice to some of the most vulnerable individuals at a time when they most needed it. It chimed with his own values, as well as those of us that are social workers and social work practitioners, and about how people should be empowered, listened to, and supported. He has ensured that keeping up to date with all of the changes in case law is both exciting and interesting, so staff are keen to learn more. He tells a good story, which is why he's so good at training. In fact, we would be very sore to miss his opportunity such as this and to pop into some MCA training. And if Paul were here in person, he would have you all doing some sort of group work. I do not doubt that. He has built tremendous relationships with our legal team, with the courts, with children's service colleagues, with health colleagues. And he has a translation of the importance of the law into everyday practice. And that is an immense skill and such a legacy and a challenge for all of us in the work that he did. Those staff lucky enough to work alongside Paul will also tell you that he is also a control freak. And he likes to know absolutely everything about anything that's going on. And he's so nice about it that no one minds. He's also a very fun person to be around. Work has always been a place of laughter and joy in the MSCA team. And despite lacking change, he even embraced the frivolities of lockdown, working to include the face mask competitions and kazoo practice, a particular highlight, I think, of the lockdown period. Paul has a passion and belief in making a difference in people's lives, to empower people in contact with our services to be really, and I do mean really, involved in their care and support choice decisions. He has coached and guided many and do all that he can to make people's voices heard, be those staff members or people that we support. This is why Paul is missed by so many, in adults and their families and the carers, and often when they're at a point of crisis. He listens for however long is needed, and most importantly, then he acts. That is what impacts people's lives. And this is why Paul is a much valued friend, colleague, and an exceptional leader. He inspires us to do better at what we do, and most importantly, for us to remember why we do it. As many of you are aware, Paul has recently left the council so that he could focus on his health and his family. Paul, this special award is a joyful celebration of your exceptional work over the period of time you have worked for Dorset, in social care and in health. And can I say, on behalf of everyone in the room, thank you from all of us for everything that you have done.
No introduction, Thomas. Have you run out of gags? End of the afternoon. It must be there. Thank you, Steve. Mr. Beavers, as I read about you in the press earlier a couple of weeks ago. Yes, absolutely. So they're not the only ones who can get the name wrong from there. And Peter, thank you. Peter was obviously clearly remembering some of his rugby days there. Peter was a scrum half, and I played a fly half. I was used to getting hospital passes from the scrum half, and nearly got that with those jokes. I won't tell any more jokes because Peter's used my two good ones. But can we just very quickly put our hands together for Thomas? Because actually he's made that really good. And I should just say, Thomas is now available for hire. Nothing to do with contract. It's a commercial opportunity for the council. Teresa and I have agreed. We're going to book him out for those parties, permits, anything you want to do. But listen, what a fantastic afternoon it has been. It has been tremendous, recognising everything that you have done. The good practice, the fantastic practice that is across our social work teams. So thank you for allowing me to share in there. I want to say thank you to those people who have organised the events, from adults and children's teams, communications, ICT, the crew down here who are getting all the tech right there. Brilliant. That's brilliant. And finally, I guess it's congratulations to all of you, those who were nominated, those who put the nominations in, those who won. It's good to laugh. It's great to applaud, because today and tomorrow, and maybe for some of you this evening, it's back to some serious work supporting our communities as well. So can I, on behalf of Dorset Council and the residents of Dorset, the members of Dorset, I can see Peter nodding, just say thank you for everything you do. It really is appreciated. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next year, I'm sure, if not before.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Well, that concludes the Dorset element of our programme today, but the awards are not over because we've got several nominees, I think, for the national awards. So while we retune a few things and reset the stage and try and get the omnibus edition of Love Island on the TV back here, there's a chance for you. We're going to put some music on. You can have a dance. You can go to the photo booth. The bar is open, and it is after 11 a.m., so it's game on. So, yeah, please hang around. We'll have a nice time. And then, in about 15 minutes' time, we're on for the Nationals.